So I've made many videos about the continuing trend of the dip in rental prices, especially as is the case in the downtown core area, as is the special case with condominiums. And feel free to go watch those specific videos with regards to why I explain why in those videos, as I will in this video as well. But today I thought I would run down some of the numbers with regards to the areas most affected by this trend, meaning the areas that have seen the biggest drop in rental rates in August of 2020 as compared to August of 2019. In some cases, I'm going to compare the month of July as well. As always, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate, Remax Realtron Realty Inc. You can find my contact information in the description box. Feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review. All that jazz. Let's get on with the video. Let's set the parameters, right? These are numbers for condominiums by average rent price, right? So they don't specify whether it's 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, whether it's a in-suite laundry or it doesn't have in-suite laundry. All those specifics you have to break down further in detail. And in the older videos I go by based on 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom. But in this video, by this chart and the numbers we're going through, it's going to be all bedroom numbers and all condo types, just condo apartments downtown. Off the bat, here we have waterfront properties in the waterfront communities. You can see in both the months of July and August, there has been a dip. In July, 12%, August, 16% in rental prices. 2,700 down to 2,300 is a big contrast. That's upwards of 400. I know that's simple mathematics, but 400 in the rental arena is a lot of money. The reason this area, in my frank opinion, has been hit the hardest is because typically the units in these areas are older, and as a result, due to the mass exodus and the decrease in rental demand in the downtown area, and even the purchase and sale demand from investors in the downtown area, the units that are going to be hit the hardest, the buildings, are typically the older ones. They're going to feel the brunt first. Moreover, it's also the fact that the waterfront can be achieved in more affordable areas further east and west, and proximity to work is not an issue as of now. A lot of people work from home. Thus, it would not make sense necessarily to rent downtown if you work downtown, because some estimates include that up until next year, perhaps April, people will still be working from home. And this applies to all these cases, right? All these areas, not just the waterfront communities. All the areas we'll be going through. Proximity to work no longer being a factor is one of the key issues and variables that has been leading to these dip in prices. Next up, we have Little Portugal. Now, with regards to Little Portugal, as you can see, there's been a 9% decrease, which is still bad, but not as bad as the waterfront communities for the month of August, down from 2,400 thereabouts to 2,200, 2,259. And with this community, one thing you have to consider is that Little Portugal is not a very condo-rich area. Of course, there are condominiums. Many of them tend to be low-rise, and a lot of rental arrangements in that area are properties such as detached and semi-detached properties. So house and basement unit rentals. In some cases, just merely room rentals. Next up, we have the Bay Street corridor area. So one thing off the bat with the Bay Street corridor area is, even though that we see a 12% decrease, for instance, August to August, right, year over year, the rental rates still are the highest in that area. So they're down 12%, but they're down 12% to 2,400. Whereas, for instance, as we discussed, Little Portugal, they were down from 2,400. So this is definitely still the most pricey area in terms of rental rates, but once again, down 12%. And frankly, I am most surprised that this area has not been the most affected, because as we see, prior last year, August, it was 2,800, 2,700. And most people rent in that area because of, once again, proximity to work. That's where a lot of white collar jobs that you have to move downtown for in a normal society where we don't have a pandemic, that's where most people move. So I'm surprised that this trend we're seeing has not impacted this area even more. In other ways, put in other ways, I'm surprised that the waterfront communities is more affected. But nonetheless, this is still a very highly affected area in terms of the drop in rental rates, coming in at 12%. Now let's move on to the Annex. As you can see, the Annex saw a 22% drop in rental prices in the month of July. In my frank opinion, in the month of July 2019, coming in at $2,900 for average price of rent, even in that market, it was still overpriced. And if my assumption is correct, in July of last year, everything was overpriced in that area, and we're seeing a decline in rental rates in areas that were not overpriced. Obviously, if that's going to continue and extend to the area that was overpriced, and it's going to fall twice as much. So when you look at August, it's still down 12% year over year. As I've explained in previous videos, and I will repeat this information once more, this all has to do with a multitude of factors, but the factors I consider most important is that the condo investor demand is low. So most investors purchase condominiums. They either make it into Airbnb, which they can no longer do that because of the new regulations in place. Now your primary residence has to be an Airbnb. That means if they want to rent, they have to go into the long-term rental market. And we see an influx of that occurring, meaning there is too much supply and not enough demand to meet the inventory on the market, causing prices to drop. This all concurrent to the trend of the mass exodus from the downtown area where people were renting. Now they can rent elsewhere, or they can buy elsewhere, further out, more affordable areas, because they don't have to worry about the proximity to work. As I've said a million times in this video, I'm sorry if you're tired of hearing it. Anyways, hopefully that was informative for you. Thanks for watching. Feel free to get in touch. My contact information in the description box. As always, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Realtron Realty Inc. Feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review, and thanks for watching.